Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm super excited because this drops, if you're watching this the exact minute that I dropped this upload, this drops on the GP Knives website in 1 hour. Today, that'd be December 17th at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. I did try to put some community notifications up yesterday, and if you were on Instagram, maybe you saw my story or you saw my post, right? But I figured I'd do the unboxing here this morning. You should be able to get your hands on this if you're watching it today. So I'll link this down in the description. It's very cool. Thank you so much to GP Knives for sending it in. But yeah, you can use that link if you'd like to. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. So what do we have? What special Spyderco do we have? Oh, I haven't actually looked at this yet. So cool. We have a Spyderco Smock. I have not had a new Smock since the M4 release from Blade HQ. But today we have a super cool, the combination here is so cool. The GP Knives Spyderco exclusives are so cool. This is White G10 and Rex 45. This is really cool for a couple of reasons. Number one, I mean, it's the Smock. Come on. God, that's such a cool looking combination, man. So the Smock is one of those Spydercos that looks enough not Spyderco that it attracts people who don't traditionally like Spyderco knives. They do look like dead birds. I agree, they do. But the Smock looks a little more visually digestible, I guess. It's also something that is very much loved by Spyderco fans. So this is not a button lock. It's actually a button-operated compression lock, which is really, really cool. You can still use the little hole to flick it out, and I think, yeah, you can also still reverse flick it. You can use the rear flipper. Very cool. This is not, I made the mistake one time of calling this a satin DLC. It's actually not. It's a TICN coating, a titanium something or other coating. It's fine. It's not going to hold up like DLC, but it's fine. The steel, most importantly, is Rex 45. Wow, that definitely makes this cool. Rex 45 is pretty serious stuff, and it's also a CPM steel, which is important, especially right now. But the other thing that I think is cool about the White G10 is if you hate it for whatever reason, it will be very, very easy to writ dye. Like if you plan to use this, you're not gonna, it's not gonna be a collector thing. This is an exclusive Spyderco, and it's also a pretty cool one, and it's based, it's on a model that is pretty popular. So a lot of people are gonna buy these to collect, right? Or resell or whatever people do, right? But if you're actually gonna buy this and use it, and you are not in love with the white, or maybe after a while, it gets a little dirtied up, or you just wanna do something different, it will be super easy to writ dye it whatever color you want. So that might be, a reason for some people to pick this up. This reminds me, well, it's kind of like if Spyderco made the Benchmade 940 and then just didn't do hardly anything the same. It's a bigger knife. It's a little more robust knife. Definitely feels, in my opinion, a lot more solid. I like the 940. I just like the Smock better. I like the choke up spot. I like the hollow edge, super duper thin behind the edge. This will hold an edge for a very long time. If you want to get a general idea of Rex 45 edge retention, at Laren Thomas of Knife Still Nerds has a huge chart. It's a couple years old, but he's got a big chart testing all the crazy, steels, a lot of the weird CPM steels that people are kind of confused by. Rex 45 is definitely way up there for sure, but just so cool. I love this. Okay. If for anybody who's never, or is just like not familiar with the Smock at all, I'm going to do some measurements here. So the overall length of the Smock is actually 8 inches, so full-size knife. It is exactly 3.5 inches of blade, and then it actually is something like 2.9 inches of cutting edge, and that's just thanks to the huge forward choil. What makes this knife so much, what we should before I get into that, I want to go ahead and weigh this thing real quick. So steel liners, we have the White G10. This, by the way, is not a USA Spyderco. This is a Taichung, Taiwan Spyderco, which actually means that it'll have better fit and fit. I know some people are shocked by this. If you have only ever purchased American Spydercos and you're just in love with American Spydercos, I get it. I like them too. The Taichung Taiwan Spydercos have the very best fit and finish. Period. The Chinese Spydercos, not very good. The Japanese Spydercos, the Italian Spydercos, and the American Spydercos, anywhere from pretty good to Taichung Taiwan, very, very good. They have the most consistent, not always 100% perfect, right? Every now and then there's a goof up, but Taichung Taiwan tends to have the best fit and finish. And this, I think this Smock is a pretty good indication of that exactly. Something to note, this is very shiny. Visually, it's no different than like a satin DLC. In fact, here, I'll show it to you up against the satin DLC on Excalibur. I would say the TICN is a little bit more shiny. But yeah, very, very similar there. So we have the Rex 45, we have the YG10, we have the steel liners. Probably I was going to say high threes, so 3.8 ounces for 3.5 inches of blade. Pretty good. What makes this knife so visually appealing versus a lot of other Spyderco knives is the straight handle and straight spine. Sorry about that. I'm just getting out some other Spyderco knives here so I can, drive my point home. Spyderco PM2 and Spyderco Para 3, two of the most famous Spyderco knives of all time, and whether you like it or not, two of the most popular folding knives for carry ever in the history of pocket knives in general. Yes, Buck 110 owners, it's two of the most popular EDC folding knives ever. In modern days, I would say there's probably, if you were to put a list of all the most popular EDC folding knives of all time and let every single person in the entire knife community vote, that PM2 would probably be at the top for popularity, right? But you can think whatever you want. My point here is look at the Smock compared to the PM2 and Para 3. What makes it so different is its lack of spine ramp back here, so you don't have this sort of bird's beak style blade. The eye hole is still there. I mean, it's not only that this kind of looks like a pelican, but it's got this huge eye hole, right? So the eye hole is still there. It's smaller, but we have this straight back here and pretty straight handle profile. We've obviously got some grip zones in here, but there's just a lot more wild and unorthodox curvature, which gives personality to Spyderco knives that is unique. But for people, especially like if you've never seen a Spyderco, or you have seen them and you're just comparing them to what you do like, most people don't love the look of Spyderco knives, typically like these flagship Spyderco knives right off the bat. So if you're that type of person and no Spyderco knife has ever tempted you, the Smock might, because it's just, a lot of people just consider it to be aesthetically better looking. I would agree. It definitely is. So in my opinion, this is just like the PM2 that GP Knives released here recently. It's one of the cooler exclusive Spydercos that I've seen. I really like these. I have a feeling that they will go. Usually the Smocks do. But this is a pretty cool combination of materials. So it's probably going to be expensive. Spyderco knives in general are not cheap. The Taichung Taiwan models tend to be pretty expensive. Add to that the fact that you're using Rex 45, which is a pretty expensive steel. It's probably going to be a pretty expensive knife. But it's there if you want to pick it up. So I'll link it down in the description. Like I said, it drops here today. If you're watching it right now, if you were the first person to watch right when I uploaded it at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, then you've got about 50 minutes until it drops. So I'll have that link down in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.